With the DCEU shakedown that took place recently, there have been a lot of speculations on the direction the two new CEOs might take. From dropping a few characters to picking up a few, today we will be talking about the ins and outs of the new DCEU, so keep watching for all Green Lantern and Ryan Reynolds news. To kick things off, let's talk about Green Lantern's not-so-great history. Remember when back in 2011 when every superhero movie that came out was worse than the last and everything was just going downhill for them? Well, that was also the time when Green Lantern became a feature film, with Warner Brothers trying to test the water of the DC Extended Universe, but failed miserably. However, was the 2011 Green Lantern really the worst DC movie ever made? Well, no, that position is still strongly held by Catwoman and Jonah Hex, but fans are still wondering if Green Lantern would ever make a comeback and if it would star Ryan Reynolds the second time around. Ryan Reynolds, who played Hal Jordan as the lead role, cannot really be blamed for the movie tanking at the box office. Give credit where it belongs, he too was mostly let down by the movie he was in, otherwise he could have made a great Green Lantern. According to Reynolds, the reason Green Lantern failed was that the people in charge of the money couldn't agree on what the movie would be about, so Hal Jordan's personality as a result was entirely stereotyped. The Green Lantern movie's Hal Jordan is merely another one-note action hero in contrast to the multifaceted superheroes presented in blockbusters like Iron Man, The Dark Knight, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Green Lantern was really just all over the place, in contrast to Reynolds' following comic book-based project Deadpool, which had a good handle on its sensibility. Green Lantern struggled to decide whether or not to take itself seriously. Let's look into why and how the 2011 movie failed. Martin Campbell, one of our underappreciated action filmmakers, deserves to be able to enjoy his success for directing The Mask of Zorro, one of the best blockbusters of the 1990s, as well as two of the greatest Bond films of all time, GoldenEye and Casino Royale. But the 2011 Green Lantern was one he didn't enjoy making very much. In Campbell's account, just as production was set to begin, the studio's financial pressures appeared out of the blue. Campbell seems to shoulder most of the blame for the movie's lack of success, saying he shouldn't have done it in the first place. Adding to that, he wasn't really a comic book fan and did it solely because he'd never done a comic book movie to adaptation before. While it's admirable of him to accept responsibility and admit his lack of interest in the superhero genre, it sounds like the bigger issue was studio interference and Warner Brothers not believing in what they had, to the point where they were trying to pinch pennies before the movie even started shooting. As a result of all of these problems, going into production with only a budget of $200 million, the movie was set up to fail. It only managed to gain a mere $219 million in box office sales and sits at a 5.5 out of 10 rating on IMDb and a sad 29% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Next, let's dive into Gunn's possible intentions with Green Lantern. By now, we can all agree the 2011 Green Lantern was a complete failure. Reynolds frequently pokes fun at his own role in the film while he currently plays Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He even went so far as to act out a sequence in Deadpool 2 in which Deadpool goes back in time to kill Reynolds in real life before he agrees to return to the role. This is why James Gunn's denial of a fan's claim that Ryan Reynolds intended to bring back his role as the Green Lantern for Zack Snyder wasn't all that shocking. Gunn addressed speculations from fans on Twitter, but one remark in particular drew his eye. The current CEO of DC Studios was tagged by a fan who wanted to know what would happen to the almighty Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. "That's not a priority for me, and even much less of one for Reynolds," tweeted Gunn in response. Given the mixed reviews Reynolds' Green Lantern movie garnered, it's unquestionably for the best. Reynolds has a lot going on for him right now, as Gunn noted, for him to consider returning to Green Lantern's world. Following up why Green Lantern deserves a second chance in the DCEU. Gunn's confirmation of the Green Lantern's role in DC's future is encouraging and exciting given the uncertainty around it owing to the shift in leadership. Since the DC Extended Universe was first revealed, rumors have circulated surrounding Green Lantern's likely appearance, adding to the fact that characters like Aquaman, Superman, and Wonder Woman do not present the same opportunities as the Green Lantern does. The other Justice League members have all recently made appearances in DC movies, with the likes of Batman having made numerous appearances. One of the few original cast members that could use a long overdue relaunch is Green Lantern. Thanks to developments in CGI, it's no longer as challenging to deploy a character whose only limit is their imagination, which could possibly result in some incredible ideas for the character. Not to mention, Reynolds has since proven he can carry a superhero franchise. 5 years after the commercial disaster that was Green Lantern, Deadpool was the first R-rated comic book movie to make a big sensation at the height of the MCU's reign and went on to revolutionize blockbuster filmmaking. With the movie and its sequel, Reynolds has more than shown he can lead a superhero franchise. Most actors would be hesitant to return to superhero films altogether after starring in a film as criticized as Green Lantern, but Ryan Reynolds seems to be an exception. Reynolds handled the situation well and gained some important insights for his future projects. Reynolds says he learned that he needed to be more involved in the production of Green Lantern. As a result, he decided to go all out in the making of Deadpool, and the rest is history. Thanks to Reynolds' talents and lessons learned, the character is soon to enter the MCU after having created a cult following, opening up new career opportunities for him. As a result, the producers of HBO Max's Green Lantern series have talked about the lessons they have taken away from the 2011 movie. The film caused many people to reevaluate how they approach new superhero movies, and it's expected the series will learn from what it didn't work and steer clear of it. Next up, Ryan Reynolds' insight into Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is reportedly official and will finally feature Jackman's comeback as James Logan Howlett, best known to fans as Wolverine. The upcoming MCU actor said that he'll journey alongside another fan-favorite actor in a video that was first released on his Twitter page. After mumbling for the first 45 seconds, Reynolds asked the Logan star if he'd like to bring back to life Wolverine one more time. "Yeah, sure, Ryan," replied the X-Men actor. Fans were also treated to the new Deadpool 3 logo in the 81-second clip. The emblem of the anti-hero's been slashed with 3 claw marks. The clip also reveals that Deadpool 3 will be released on September 6, 2024. This kind of announcement fits well with Reynolds and Deadpool's overall brand. The majority of fans would agree that he wouldn't want it any other way. Feige has claimed that he's turned to Avengers Infinity War for inspiration, so Reynolds and Sean Levy will have plenty of time to live up to Feige's expectations, with about 2 years left to work on Deadpool 3. In addition to Deadpool 3 and a much bigger part in the MCU, Reynolds is set to star in the Free Guy and Red Notice sequels over the upcoming few years. Now let's shift focus back to DCEU and see if Gunn can save it. The impact of James Gunn's appointment might not be seen until early 2025 at the earliest, given DC Studios' current movie schedule. In addition to having too many competing IPs, DC Studios also appears to be hesitant to move forward. Gunn may now spend more time writing stories and nurturing previously underdeveloped characters. Gunn is a master at introducing audiences to previously lesser-known characters and making them recognizable personalities. He may be able to save the DC universe by incorporating elements of his films that have been proven to work. It's the ongoing trust that Gunn can build character arcs and successfully captivate viewers while doing so. Finally, let's end with Gunn's plans for the future of the DCEU. Even while many well-loved actors have been cast in iconic roles and a lot of world building's been undertaken, the Snyderverse's fractured structure makes long-term planning difficult, and a complete relaunch has its own set of potential problems. Zack Snyder's original DCEU plan called for a shorter story arc for the universe that included multiple Justice League films, but Warner Brothers never completely embraced Snyder's visions and finally replaced him with Joss Whedon in the middle of Justice League's post-production. They did, however, not abandon Snyder's universe. 5 years later, the issue lands in James Gunn's lap, and the solution isn't any easier, with Gunn admitting their plan won't make every single person happy. In preparation for their upcoming launch of the new DC universe, James Gunn and Peter Safran have stated that they have prepared a 10-year plan, announcing that they had a DC slate ready to go and will be able to release specifics at the beginning of the new year, Gunn announced on social media. Gunn's remark also comes with the news that Henry Cavill will no longer be playing Superman in future films because a younger version of the character is preferred. Currently, The Flash is one of 4 upcoming DC Universe movies that are said to be released in the next year. It's currently uncertain if these reports will tie into Gunn's intentions, but it doesn't seem likely. Since DC Studios was restructured, several rumored projects, including Wonder Woman 3 and a Batman Beyond movie starring Michael Keaton as The Dark Knight, have reportedly been canceled. This suggests that many of the franchise's original plans and characters may have been abandoned in favor of this new slate. Most of us are very restless when it comes to the future of DCEU, but only time will reveal what the new CEOs have up their sleeve to revive the DC universe. Let us know in the comments down below which DC or Reynolds movie you're most excited about in the coming year. And that's it for now. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.